So, Coach, I think you're flying off the start you guys were hoping for this year, one win in 8 games. What's kind of going on with this team, do you think?
A lot of things. We don't score enough goals. That's the one thing. I think the last two games has been better defensively, giving up less than 25 shots against. But I think our offense is struggling right now, getting into the hard areas. So last week we've done a lot of one-on-one battles. So we've improved our scoring chances. Now it's a matter of finishing around the net. And we had good looks. 5-on-5, we had good looks on the power play. It's just a matter of almost to a point where it's post and in instead of post and out. So the process is going right. But now we need to finish. And to me, it's a mindset, having that killer instinct. Well, when we need to score goals, we need to score goals. And that's one thing. I think, the fact that some guys had a real good camp at the Jets, and they came here, and it changes a little bit the dynamic of their mindset. It takes a few weeks sometimes. I think I think our result right now, wins and losses, is a byproduct of different things that we can fix. And that's when as a coach, when you're there and you're looking at your team performing or playing a hockey game, I get really nervous when I don't know what's going on. I don't know why we're losing. In our case, I think it's pretty simple. Not simple to fix, but it's simple to find out what's going on.
How important is it to have this kind of week off until the weekend to kind of work on some things, maybe?
I don't know, because we've had, so far we've had some kind of a college schedule, in a sense that we play in the weekend and we have all week of practice. The first game of every weekend has been really good. The second game was a problem. So that's one thing. So everything that we don't usually talk about. What do you do after a hockey game when you play back-to-back? What do you do the next morning? When do we meet with the players? What do we talk about? What time do you come back to the rink? All those little things that you need to fine-tune for what works for us. We're still in that process. But I think I'm getting to a point where we need to play games every second day, kind of, to get things going and create some momentum. So that week of practice is good. We're going to work on a few things. The main theme for the week will be shooting, passing, which is the fundamental, but doing it right. Like the passes has to be on the tape and the shots has to be on the net. And if there's a rebound, you finish, you score that goal. In practices, creating that kind of mindset with some routes that we're going to adjust offensively. Special teams, we need to improve with our special teams. That's the one thing we need to get better at. Our PK and our power play, we need to score more goals, and our PK has to be really good. Because 5-on-5, when you look at the games, we're pretty much even. So we need to improve with our special teams. And the power play hasn't produced enough. The chances are there. The system is right. It's been proven in the past that it works. Now it's a matter of execution.
Stats don't always tell the full story, but Mikael Backlund's numbers aren't too good so far after 8 games. So what are you kind of seeing from him?
I would say don't look at the stats right now, because you're absolutely right. They don't necessarily explain the way he's been playing. So at the end of the day, you win or you lose as a team. He's part of the team. We're not winning enough at this point. He's part of it. But not too many games I can say our goalie should have done a better job. There's a few goals here and there, like every team would say. But I don't think our goalies has been the problem now. Having said that, when you lose your MVP like Eric Comrie on waivers, does it change the dynamic of your mindset or your team? Maybe a little bit for a day or two, but we're past that. It's over. It's in the past, and we moved on. And our goalies, I thought, if you look at the numbers, they don't look good, but to me, it's all about the team concept.
Christian Vesalainen, what are you seeing from him so far?
Well,
Goalless in 8 games as well.
Yeah. We talked about him again this morning, and we remember we talked about a goal he scored last year when he came back in overtime. I don't know if you saw it, but we were in overtime. It was a one-on-one in the corner. Won his battle, drove the net, beat the goalie, went wide, used his long stick to beat the goalie. But the battle that he won in the corner, that's what we need to see more offensively right now. I think it's going to come because he's doing it defensively. I think he's a guy that is still getting used to his size. He's a tall kid, tall person, but not as strong as a 25 years old, which makes sense. But some 20-year-old, 21-year-old are very, very strong at their age. I think he needs to get stronger. His lower body has to get stronger. But the mindset is right and his attitude is right. So that, to me, that's very positive. So it's a matter of time. He needs to find a way to win those one-on-one battles. He needs to find a way to get to the net and score those ugly goals. And he needs to find a way to improve his speed at releasing his shot because his shot is really good. I'm sorry. And for some guys, and Vest might be in that category, I think Paul touched it at training camp. For the guys that are where their hockey sense is above average, because his hockey sense is pretty good. He knows where to go on the ice. He understands how to use his stick, his positioning. It's all good. Sometimes it's harder for those players to show what they're capable of in the American League because there's a little bit more confusion in our league. Byproduct of that is the quality of the players. There's a reason why players are in the NHL and some are in the American League. So, and our league is the second best in the world. I truly believe that, but I think for Vest, it's a matter of getting stronger, a little bit faster, and being able to release a shot. And that's going to come with time. Because right now, he's doing everything that we asked him to do. Working on his stick, understanding his routes, coming back hard to D-zone, getting the puck out. Now it's just adding a few more pieces, which is quick release and getting stronger physically, but that's going to come over time.
The last one for me, it's only October, but how do you kind of make sure these guys don't get discouraged and they realize that they can still turn the season around even though it's been a slow start?
Well, that's the beauty of our sport. Facing that, well, you don't want to face that kind of challenge. And I was talking to, I think the coaches the other day. I've never been in that situation myself. I lose 6 in a row. So it's not the start that we wanted, but at the same time, it's going to test our character and it's going to test. We've said that we have a pretty good team chemistry. Now it's going to be tested. And, to say it and to see it when things are going decent, it's one thing. But when things are not going the way you want to or you're expected to, then you're going to really test your room. And that's what we're going to see over the next few weeks. We're going to see it this week. And it's either we get stronger because of it or we stay in the same position. But it's, to me, there's always a positive side of everything. Right now, it's not great. I agree 100%. There's a lot of good things that we do. Now we just have to put everything together and make sure we stay at minimum a level of competing. But being negative, feeling sorry for ourselves, I don't know about you, but that never fixed anything in my life.
I want to ask you about a couple of rookie defensemen that have had to step up with some injuries, and Leon and Jonathan. Can you speak to the kind of job that they've done, especially as rookies playing such big minutes?
You know what? So I feel that the expectations you have in players changes everything in a team, as a matter of fact. When you expect something and it's not happening, then the team is underperforming. If you don't expect anything, whatever the player does or the team does, it's overachieving. So the expectations weren't high because we didn't know how they would react to this level. They are creating at that moment their identity as players. So for Covey and Leon, right now they're playing pretty good hockey. But there's no expectations. The only expectations is we want you to work hard. Now, can you be a positive player at that level? That's something they're creating right now. Once they show us that they belong in that league, and I think they do, now the expectations will go higher. And that's when we start really evaluating our players. Right now, they're doing a good job, but they're also part of the team. And we want them to be confident about their play, We want them to be confident about what they can bring to our team, but we're still evaluating their, I don't want to say their level of talent, but their ability to adjust to this level. And from there, once they do that consistently, ask me that question again, and then I'll have a better answer for you.
Okay. At this point, is it kind of like just manage the game, don't make too many mistakes?
No.
You don't have to be outstanding.
Yeah, no. You can be outstanding, no problem with that. We won't stop you from being outstanding, but no, it's not about not making mistakes, because they will, and it's not about, the only mistake you can't make is the lazy ones. So if you're going to take lazy penalties, if you're going to be lazy on the ice, then there's no league that will, or good teams that will let you do that. Other than that, we want to see what you can bring to this hockey team and the organization. They have 3 years to be evaluated and to become a Jet player. So they're in the process of being evaluated right now. But by all means, if you want to be outstanding, please do.